Hi, my name is Roger Ottaway, and welcome to my 2019 Ford Transit van conversion series. I'm going to show you how I made my luxury van. I'll be highlighting how I only added 2,500 pounds to the van, and I'll show you some special features such as the shower build, the bed build, and how I stacked my batteries on top of the water tank to gain full access to my garage area. Follow my series and I'll show you what I did. Thanks. It's always nice having a bucket around so you can have a place to sit. Okay, I wanted to explain some of my issues I'm having right now, what I'm in the middle of. What I did was I did the bump out in here. I just did a straight panel in here so I could leave this as short as possible on the wall rather than using a batting of sorts, which will bring it out to here. This would have been my wall clear out to here, you know, if I would have not done this. Okay, so I'm going to figure out how to put a beam in here and box this in, so to speak, and create my bump outs so I can have extended walls when my head and my feet are going to be kind of that way, this and that way. So that's my job, and it's not exactly square, so I'm having issues with that because this bump out's here, I got like an eighth of an inch here, and I got it flat at the end, so I've got a problem here where it's not going to be flat against my bump out edge. So now I've got to figure out how to either fill it or bump this out a little bit just to fill it up so I can actually go up with it. So I could put in some, you know, what I did with a floor filling, I could have filled this in with that too. So I may do that just to level it out. But anyways, that's going to be part of the challenge, is getting that level somewhat, because I've got to create a level wall, and it looks like it narrows down there and gets a little bit wider up here. So, which is part of the difference, I'm assuming, is that it tapers in a little bit at the end of the walls, which is a bummer because now it's not square, and I prefer to work with squareness. But you know, everything you do custom-wise takes you 10 times longer than you ever think it's going to really do this. So I can just see it being a problem. And before I get done burying all this, I'm going to try to put in either foam inside this casing into here, fill it up with foam of sorts, or foam it in, liquid foam, and let it expand, because I want to fill all the cavities in it I possibly can. Same with these cavities up here, they will be filled eventually. I don't want to do it until I know I'm not going to put anything in it like electrical. So at this point, that's going to be the challenge, is getting this beam in here, I've got to also put in, I got a 2x10s over here, and it's going to be kind of sitting on a wall like that. Let me just stick one of those up here and show you an idea what it looks like when you're doing something like this. This thing's going to be up on the wall now. So my challenge is figuring out where I'm going to put it. Am I going to, because I still got, once I put it here, I still got about 3.5 more inches to go before I finish the bed, and then I still got 5 more inches, so it's going to be up into here by the time you put the actual mattress on the bed. So it'll sit this high up if I put it right here, which is where I'm thinking about doing it. This is the area I'm thinking about setting it at, right there. So right now, my goal is to stick this beam on the wall, do it on both sides so I can start the bases of my bed, because I've got to get over this thinking stuff, you know, because when you haven't done something like this, it becomes a real challenge for you to sit here and think about every little process out. And again, I go back to the point of where you over-research this stuff to death, creates its own problem in a sense when you do that. When you overthink it, over-research it, so you get so much of this in your head, and all this stuff kind of mixes around your ideas and their ideas, and then you'd like to really follow somebody's idea instead of creating the book all by yourself, because it takes too long to think these things out and through. And even when you know, even if you're following somebody else, you still have to think it out before you trip and fall in the middle of this thing, because mistakes could create expense and hardship down the line if you do something wrong and you find out later that you should have did it a different way and you didn't do it that way. So you really need to slowly go through this. I'm sure anybody else did their first build was walking through it fairly slow like I am. So, but anyways, I'll get back to this in a minute and we'll start putting some of that up. Here is where I use the floor to square my headboard. So this is one of the techniques used because you wanted to do from bottom up, not top down. Okay. Here is an update. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to attach my headboard to the side here, and I only got, since it's high up, I only got 2 areas to attach it to on here. So I'm going to bolt them in here, here, and then over there. Then I'll add a few more later on, as these bolts have been a real difficult thing to find. Some of the things I've noticed is when I try to find parts, nails, screws, or whatever, particularly screws, I'm trying to find a screw with a Phillips head screwdriver on it so I can drill it in with my compact drill. I can't find one, so all I can get, this is 2.5 inches going into metal, and all I could find in all these stores were things like this with a number, I think number 8 or number 10 head on it for metric. So now I gotta bolt it in. So I did it a couple different things. Now I have to countersink it because I don't want it sticking out there like a big old sore thumb. So I'm gonna countersink it so it'll drop it in a little bit. But then I have to pre-drill it to make sure it gets in there. So I pre-drill it with a smaller drill, get this down in there, then I'll wrench it in with my other, and hopefully it'll be in. I did one over here and it worked. I'm just hoping it'll do it again and work again. You know, so that's my next thing is that. So here it goes. Let's give this a shot.